Here are the opening statements candidates, and we are going to go left to right, starting with Mr. Young. Okay? All right, here it is. For your opening statement, please tell us what are, or perhaps should be, true indicators of progress for the city of Cincinnati, and what are the most critical objective measures for Cincinnati moving in a positive direction. Also, please outline specific strategies for creating, managing, and sustaining such a vision for the future.
The reality for me simply is that I think one of the best measures that people can actually see is how well a government is delivering the basic services that people pay for. So if your city is safe, if your city is clean, if your city has paved roads, if you're able to get your water, if you're able to get sewer, if you're able to get those basic things taken care of, I would think if government did nothing else, many people would be satisfied. But I think another measure are quality of life issues. It's just like when children go to school, we talk about teaching them the 3 R's, but we all know that if that's all they get, they're not getting everything we would like for them to have. And so in a city, we have, at least in Cincinnati, we have world-class parks. And I think that anywhere you go, if people know anything about Cincinnati, they talk about our parks, they talk about our trees, they talk about our arts community. And so to me, that is another measure. So you've got basic services, but you also have very good quality of life things going on. We do not control schools, but certainly a partnership with schools is necessary because we want our children to be well educated. We want a good school system. In fact, that is one of the things people will look at when they're trying to decide whether they want to come to a city. We want to be business friendly. We want to be in the business of inviting businesses in, wanting them to come here, and by doing that, creating jobs that keep people employed. We want to have a very successful core. Most people would say that's downtown. And building on that, moving that kind of progress into the neighborhoods so that you not only have that successful core, but you have decent places where people want to work, live, and play. So to me, those are the basic things that we would talk about if you wanted to look at a government and see whether it was delivering services. And I guess the other thing simply is it's always about the dollars, finding ways to enhance revenue, to expand the tax base so that we can pay for the things we want and afford the things that we need.
Thank you, Kathy. Thank you to the Greenwich and the League of Women Voters and City B for hosting this forum. I'm Councilmember Laure Quinlivan, and I thank you for your past support. I'm the only elected mom on City Council, the only one who lives on the east side of the city, and the only one with a background in journalism. As many of you know, I used to be the I-Team investigative reporter at Channel 9 for a while, and now I own my own small business. And my vision for the city is very clear: cleaner, greener, smarter. And to that end, my track record on council is a council member who gets things done. To keep our city moving forward, I think we need to do two things: attract more people to live in the city and attract more businesses to open here. The three objective measures that I would use to see if we're reaching those goals is our population increasing? Are we creating more jobs? And are neighborhoods thriving? So the strategies that I think we should use to reach these goals is, number one, the streetcar. I think it's going to be a very transformative project for our city that is going to help get people into the city and also businesses to open. Number two, I think it's really important to invest in alternative transportation to keep people in our city. And what I mean by that are hike, bike paths, everywhere we can get them, and trails as well, because that really attracts young people. And I'm leading something at the city called the Wasson Way Bike Trail that's going to be transformative for us. And then three, to help neighborhoods thrive, one thing we have going is community entertainment districts. These are helping neighborhoods all across the city attract restaurants to the vacant spaces that they have now in the commercial districts, creating jobs. We've already created about 500 jobs that way. So my vision, again, cleaner, greener, smarter. I'm the one who gets things done. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, please pick up this brochure and read it. Thank you.
I'm going to dive right into the question. And one of my great joys in life, honestly, is getting to be a cheerleader for my hometown, for a city I love. So I do want to talk about a lot of exciting points of progress. And I know later in the evening and later in this session, we'll get to talk about many of the points of improvement, which I feel equally strongly about. But just want to paint two quick pictures for everybody. One, take your brains back to 2001 and think about where Cincinnati was. It was not a place that I think most of us were proud of, where we thought we should be. And if you would have said in 2001, 12 years into the future, you'll be standing here on October 5th, 2013, and you will have, helped rebuild your riverfront. You will have a bustling Fountain Square. You will have debuted Smale Riverfront Park and Washington Park. You'll have brought the World Choir Games to town. Major League Baseball's All-Star Game will be coming to town. You'll be building a new Dunnhumby office tower in the middle of downtown. People would have said, no way. That's not going to happen in Cincinnati. So, there is so much that is very visible right before us where we can say, this city, good things are happening here. The second thing I would say, just a sort of mental picture and a data point that I want all of you to be ambassadors for, the Cincinnati Enquirer ran a story maybe about 2 months ago, and the sub-headline was, city's population continues to decline. You then start reading the story, and it says that from 2010 to 2012, it's gone down 0.1%. So for a city of 300,000 people, 10% is 30,000 people, 1% 3,000 people, 0.1%, we lost 300 people. After 50 years of hemorrhaging population, we have achieved virtual population stabilization. That is a sign of progress. This is going to be the first decade of population increase in a long time. It's going to grow our tax base. It's going to make us a thriving, more dense city, and it's something you all need to tell your neighbors about. Get more people to move to Cincinnati. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for coming tonight, and I'm really excited to be here. I was mentioning my two sons. I have a senior and a sophomore at Clark Montessori High School, and when I look at the progress of Cincinnati, I want it to be a place where our kids, our 7-year-old that's right there, that they say, I want to stay in the city of Cincinnati. This is a place where I want to stay, have my family, I can have a great job, it's livable, I can live in the neighborhoods. For me, that is progress. If we look at the younger generation and they make those choices. And I think what we need for them to do to make those choices is we need to be a sound fiscal city. We are doing so much with progress right now when you look down at the banks and just everything that has been going on in the last 5 to 10 years in the city. It's outstanding, but I really have a concern. Our budget deficit can't be overlooked right now. We have a huge pension problem that's looming, and we have a budget problem. I think when we look at progress and you were asking for indicators, Moody's just downgraded the city's bond rating. S&P is looking at the bond ratings in the next month. We can't afford to have our bond ratings go down. So I think a strong indicator of progress in the city is if we get our bond ratings back to where they were. We can't afford to go down any lower because that's going to hurt our progress in the other parts of the city. So I think we need to look at budget and pension. And it's also the people that stay in the city and people that continue to come here and jobs. We need to be job friendly and make Cincinnati a place where our corporations will stay and will come. And I think to do that, we have to stop increasing the property tax, and also we should not be increasing the earnings tax. And I think those are real indicators that will show we're making progress that will keep people in Cincinnati. Thank you.